Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of David's Parmcast. I am David. Joining me for this tour of Connecticut is my good friend Robert. Robert.
Hey, everyone.
Just like that, everybody just fell in love with him.
All over again.
All over again. Okay, so the last two episodes, me and Robert, we went to actual pizza restaurants. So this time we're trying something a little different. We're actually trying to go to some delis to see how we can compare and contrast to see if they make a different style of parm.
Yes, and I will put a disclaimer that we were, it's a Saturday, and it was around, both of the places were close to closing.
Yes.
One place was literally minutes away from closing. So I don't know if that will affect the parm.
We'll have to see.
But you know what? We judge them as we eat them. Not what it could have been, but what it is.
Not woulda, shoulda, coulda.
But shoulda, coulda, eat it.
Eat a Parmesan. Okay, so Robert, up first, we went to Tony's Deli. Now, this is the first for me where I've actually waited for my parm to be cooked. So it probably took about, 10 to 15 minutes in between?
Yeah, it took about, I would say probably 12 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is okay. To me, it was a little longer of a time. But then again, when you're going to these delis, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess you could call in the order, but like I feel like at a deli, it's just more, you got to wait.
You got to wait.
You got to get the full
stop.
experience.
Yep.
So what do you think of the location?
It's off the main path. It seems like it's like a secret kind of spot. It's in like almost like a residential type of area.
Yeah.
That may be, it's great because it's like, oh, not many people know about this place. It's not like,
I don't know though. They have catering trucks.
Oh, they have catering trucks?
You saw it.
I know. I was going to point it out.
Like-
So it's off the beaten path. It's not on the main road. It takes a little while to get there off the highway.
Yeah, it's in Greenwich, Connecticut. So yeah, it's not on the post road. But if you lived in Riverside or Coscob, it wouldn't be that far away.
Not at all.
5-minute drive. If you lived in backcountry Greenwich, nightmare. But anyway, so I think this deli is somewhat related to this other popular, probably a more well-known deli in Greenwich called Corbo's, which I have been to before. And I mainly think that they're related because their menu items, Corbo's items, they give sandwiches a certain name. So like one is like the Bruin, the Balboa, such and such. And I noticed that this had the same menu. No, I don't know which one came first.
The chicken or the Bruins?
I don't know if the Tony's was the original or Corbo's was, but anyway, it seems similar. So I'm very curious.
It could be related. Maybe maybe Tony's the brother or something, or their last name is Corbo. I don't know.
But the only weird thing is in Corbo's when you go, they have like a toaster thing up the top, and they have like an assembly line. So they make the sandwiches and they stick it up in the
we didn't
toaster.
see that here. We didn't see that.
And we didn't see that. They made it in the back. So I don't know what they did. So anyway,
we got a number 61, which is a chicken parm.
Yeah.
Listed price $8.49. Actual price $9.03. So
yeah, on the higher side.
On the higher side, but we'll see. So let's get into this.
It was a nice little shop, though.
It was very nice. Probably about maybe 12 seats. Okay, so right off the bat, we have
aluminum
foil,
which we're no strangers to.
Well, I am in Rhode Island. I'm a stranger to it. Down here, it seems like you guys.
Yeah, but you grew up in Connecticut.
I know, so it's an old second nature. Okay.
All right, so here we go. He's unwrapping it. Move that bag. Get that bag out of there.
Oh, okay.
All right, what do you think?
Well, I'm right about to pull the part off where we see how much cheese comes off, like pulling a Band-Aid. So, Robert, why don't you pull that bad boy and see? He said it's not too bad. Okay, actually, it's not too bad. And a lot of cheese is not getting pulled off. So, wait, hold on. What the hell is that? Oh no, is this something? Okay, so Robert's. It looks. I don't know if that is that cheese or is that the paper?
Part of the paper.
Okay, so when Robert was unwrapping it, it looked like part of the cheese from the sandwich was getting caught with the wrapping. So. I don't
actually
like that.
Ate a little bit of it.
It did. He thought it was cheese, and he was like, "Nope, this."
I had to test it. I eat paper.
Okay, so nice looking sandwich. I can see that the bread has barely any toast. I'm looking at literally one little end cap of toast. I'll show it to Robert so so he can see it here in a minute. I'm just taking a picture, so bear with me 1 second.
The tension is building.
Okay, Robert. Now, from what I've seen, this is the only little piece of char is this thing right here, right?
Yeah, and you can feel the bread is like softer.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to.
It'd be interesting. Okay.
I just hope it's not like super chewy. I don't mind if it's soft.
I think from what I've seen, just
It
by
looks
pushing
a
a
little
piece of
chewy.
bread, it'll be a chewy thing. So pick your side.
You pick. I pick all the time.
Okay, I'm gonna go with I'm just gonna grab this side right here. Okay, pulled apart very easy. Okay, from what I'm seeing right here, it's just one just like one big piece of chicken that's just sticking out. Robert, what do you see?
Yeah, mine's like one big piece of chicken. It's definitely a hand cut, like almost like grilled chicken with a little breading.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, but it's
Yeah.
definitely a handmade patty.
It's definitely a smushy roll. Like there's no
It
real.
is different than Corbo's. I'll tell you that much. This
Okay.
is not what a Corbo's sandwich looks like.
And now me and Robert have eaten. This is the first time eating at this place, so Robert's gonna bite it and tell us what he thinks. Okay, now let me go.
The chicken's really good. I just worry that there's not enough in the sandwich.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking because it's unless there's another piece hidden, but okay, yeah. So look, what do you see, Robert? I just opened my sandwich. I want Robert to take a look at.
I think there's three pieces of chicken. One small one in the middle, and
Yeah.
then one big one at each end.
Yeah, not a lot of. I mean, the sauce because I opened mine pretty big. Just do you think that's lacking sauce, or what do you think from what you see on my side?
It looks okay.
Looks okay. Okay, let me take another bite.
I mean, it depends on how much sauce you like. But I generally just go by the taste of it.
It tastes good. I'll give it that. But just because it tastes good, does that mean this is a $9 chicken parm? We'll have to find out.
Yeah, I mean, for $9, I feel like I wish it was maybe another piece of chicken in there or something. Like to me, it feels a little light.
It does. It does. You could always fit more chicken in here.
And I know you probably think that it needs more marinara, but honestly, the combination of what I'm eating here,
yeah.
I think it's fine. I
Like,
mean,
is your piece really cheesy? Because my piece is like, I mean, I like it. I really like the cheese.
yeah, they do have a good cheese on
Yeah.
there. Yeah, it is. Look at that.
Oh yeah, But there's no real. Well, I always say there's no real crunch to the chicken. So but the chicken is good. The bread I wish was maybe a little more toasted just to give it that effect that I like.
Yeah, but the bread's not chewy like I expected.
No,
Actually,
no.
It's not a problem with the bread's actually really good. Yeah, I mean, I guess it could have been toasted maybe a little bit more, but
then again, they were closed. No, that was the one that was open until 4.
4, yeah.
So that they had.
they have no excuse.
That's what made it better. Okay.
The star of this sandwich is the chicken.
I agree with Robert.
The breading on the chicken, I can like taste it, and
Nope.
it's like a little bit different than what I'm used to. It's good. Like it's not different in a bad way. Just like it's just like comfort. Like
Now, is this a style of chicken that you could see at another actual restaurant, like a pizza place, or do you think this is just strictly like deli chicken?
I think this is they. It's almost like they took like a grilled. They definitely bread it themselves.
Yeah, I guess
They take it. It's almost like grilled cheese, and the breading's not even that. I took a look at the chicken. It wasn't like here. Look, it's not a heavy breading.
Yeah,
So
it's very light breading, but you can definitely still taste that it's the bread.
yeah, it's good. And actually, I feel like I like that it's not like a super heavily breaded. Maybe it's a little healthier for you.
Maybe,
Probably not.
maybe they're trying to make this healthy in the long run. It is a good sandwich for as I said earlier, me and Robert are trying delis because we know what the restaurant style is. We've had those in the past 2 episodes. So now we're trying the deli style of it to see if it compares and contrasts to the differentness of a chicken parm in the great state, the nutmeg state of Connecticut. Looks like Robert's got about 1 more bite or 2 more bites. I'm about the same thing. So we're going to finish this up. There's Tony's Deli.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little more marinara, but I'm not a huge I don't need like gobs of marinara on it, you know?
Robert's not a fan of that gloopy, globby marinara. Okay, so I got 1 more bite here, so don't mind me while I enjoy it. Okay. Okay. I'm going to let Robert finish up, so I'll give you my synopsis. Okay. The price, we all know, for I'm just going to be honest. I don't think that was a $9 sandwich. If that came around like at $8.25 to $8, I think that'll be good. Just peeking up near around 10. If they put an extra piece of chicken in there, I could see it being that. If the bread had a little more of a nice crunch to it, like they kept it in maybe another 5 minutes. But I know deli, you have to get it in and out in a certain amount of time. The chicken was the best part. That was the number one seller. A lot of cheese, which I like. Maybe just a tad more sauce. But overall, my ratings, I usually do it from 1 to 10. 1 being garbage, 10 being the best thing I've ever eaten. I say right around. I'm going 8. I'm just going right at 8 because the chicken was, as Robert said a little while ago, that was the star of the sandwich, no doubt about it. The bread on the chicken was delicious. Just if it just had maybe one more slice, because it looked like mine had. But mine had a little more chicken in mine, right?
The chicken was a little thicker though. It wasn't like the very thin chicken. So like, in a sense, if they did put another piece, it couldn't be like a huge piece because you don't want it to be like. Well, actually, maybe you do.
You want a thick sandwich, like it filled to the brim for that price.
Yeah, but I didn't get to the point like in was it one of the sandwiches I was eating on this Parmcast? I forget which one it was. I got to the end of the sandwich. Oh no, actually, it wasn't a sandwich I ate on the Parmcast. It was just one I was pretending I was on the Parmcast. Where really, I was just by myself.
He was practicing. He was trying to get ready, trying to get in the mood.
And I got it from this other place nearby, and when I got to the end of the sandwich, there was no chicken left in the bread. And that, like, I didn't have that problem with this sandwich. At least there was a bite of chicken in each bite. Like, I wasn't really left with any leftover bread. So in that regard, it wasn't a huge problem. I definitely feel like for the money, I would have expected maybe a little bit more.
Yep.
So my rating, I'm going to give it a 7.
Giving it a 7.
Because I feel like, the chicken was good, but, the bread I don't think it was cooked necessarily long enough. The bread could have been toasted more, maybe a little bit more marinara, maybe a bigger sandwich, and you got to factor in the price. So I'm gonna go with a 7 on this one.
He's going with a 7. I go with an 8. So we have the same exact kind of talking points.
Because I gave Heights and Post Corner, which are in the previous podcast. Please go and look and listen. But I gave those an 8 and an 8.5, and I thought that even though maybe the chicken in the sandwich was a little bit better than those,
and this was bigger, you could actually see the size of this chicken.
Yeah, even though the chicken might have been slightly better than either of those places, which I felt like the other places had more. Given the price, I felt like they were more of a complete sandwich. Like they were a little bit bigger. They had a little more sauce. The bread was like perfect.
It was cooked a lot more than this bread here at the deli.
Yeah. So for that, I mean, maybe a 7.5 would be more affable. I'll go 7.5.
He's going 7.5, folks. So there you go. You just listened to me and Robert eat a Tony's Deli chicken parm wedge. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as me and Robert did.
Yeah, you got to enjoy that parm. Parm it up.
Parm it up.
Parm it up every day, all day. You go to the pharmacy, get yourself a chicken parm. Wah.
Okay. So I just want to thank Robert. Robert, why don't you do what you do best and plug your Twitter?
Yeah. So you can tweet at me at Robosaurus Rex. I tweet pretty much about 3 things: chicken parms, The Walking Dead, and the New York Jets.
What about the Yankees?
Sometimes the Yankees, but mostly recently more the Jets. I've been, got to tweet at that DeBrick retiring. I tweeted at him like 5 times. I was like, I love you. I love you, DeBrick.
Did he get back to you?
No.
Okay, next time. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, David's Parmcast, also on Spreaker, David's Parmcast. So I want to thank you all for listening. It has been a great, great time. And we have one more episode that we're going to do, so please stay tuned to part 4 of the David's Parmcast Tour of Connecticut. And on that note, I just have one thing to say to my good friend Rob. Robert, Parm on.
Parm on, Dave.
Parm on, Rob.